Listen carefully. Some stories begin with a whisper. This one begins with an explosion. It's a story about bombs, but not just bombs. It's about fear and power and knowledge that cannot be destroyed. A war began in 2025, not for land, not for oil, but for something invisible, the right to own the atom. One country said, "We want peace." Another said, "You want a weapon." The world said, "Who is telling the truth?" Iran. The bomb. And the question no one dares to answer: is it too late to stop it? This is not just news, it's history in motion. So sit back, take a deep breath, and come with me. To the mountain of Fordo, to the secret tunnels, to the moment the world almost changed forever. Chapter 1. The First Strike. It was early morning. The sky over Iran was still dark, but something was coming. Not birds, not clouds, bombs. Big, silent planes flew in the sky. They were American, and they were ready to strike. "Target in sight," said a voice. Then, boom, boom, boom. 14 bombs fell on a mountain, right above a secret place, Fordo. Meanwhile, in the U.S., President Donald Trump was angry. Very angry. He looked at his phone. He opened his favorite app, Truth Social. He typed fast. "The sites we hit in Iran are gone, completely destroyed. Only fake news says otherwise." He hit post. The world read his words. Some believed him, some did not. But one thing was clear. Something big had happened. The news channels lit up. Did America destroy Iran's nuclear bomb program? Is the war over? Will Iran fight back? So many questions, but no answers yet. Fordo was deep under the ground. It was built inside a mountain. No one could see what really happened, not even satellites. Trump said Fordo was gone, but Iran said, "No, we're still strong." So, who was telling the truth? At the same time, in Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu smiled. He went on TV. "Our mission is complete," he said. "No more nuclear danger from Iran. No more rockets. We are safe." Was he right? Or was he too fast to celebrate? Back in Iran, people watched the news. Some were scared, some were angry, and some asked, "Did they really stop us? Or is this just the beginning?" Let me ask you, what do you think? Can a few bombs stop a dream? Can steel and fire erase knowledge? Can war destroy an idea? This is not just a story of bombs. It's a story of people, of power, of fear, of secrets. And it all started many years ago, when one man received a strange offer, a secret offer. But that is the story of Chapter 2. Chapter 2. A Secret Offer After the Revolution. The year was 1979. Iran had changed. The king was gone. A new power was rising, the Islamic Republic. In the middle of this chaos, a man sat in a small room. His name? Feridun Fesharaki. He was scared. He worked with the old king. Now the king was out. And many of his friends were already dead. Would he be next? The door opened. 2 guards came in. "Come with us," they said. He stood up. His hands shook. He thought, "This is the end. They will kill me." But no, they took him to someone important, Ayatollah Beheshti. Beheshti looked serious. He didn't want to kill Feridun. He wanted something else. "You worked on energy before, right?" Beheshti asked. Feridun nodded. "Yes." "You helped the Shah with nuclear plans?" Yes." Beheshti leaned forward. His voice was low but clear. "Good. Now, help us. Help the Islamic Republic. Build the bomb." Feridun froze. The bomb? He couldn't believe his ears. "But that's very expensive," he said. Beheshti smiled. "Don't worry about money. Just start." What could he say? If he said no, he might die. If he said yes, he'd be part of history. He said yes. Soon, Feridun had a plan. He needed scientists, but most of them were outside Iran. So he asked Beheshti, "Let me travel. I'll find them. I'll bring them back." He got a visa. He left Iran. But instead of coming back, he ran away. He went to the United States. He lived there. For years. 7 years passed. Then, in 1987, he returned to Iran. Why? That's another story. But this moment, this offer, was the true beginning, the start of something secret and dangerous. It was not just a bomb. It was a goal, a mission, a dream hidden underground. From that day forward, Iran would walk a long road, with science in one hand and fear in the other. Do you think he made the right choice? Would you have said yes? In the next chapter, we go back in time, even more, to a king with oil, power, and big dreams. He said something shocking to the world. Do you want to know what it was? Then join me in Chapter 3. Chapter 3. The Shah's Nuclear Dream. It was the 1970s. Iran was rich. Oil money was everywhere. The Shah, King Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, was in charge. He wore a suit. He spoke English. He looked west, but he had big plans for Iran. One day in 1974, a French newspaper asked him a question. Will Iran build a nuclear bomb, like India? The Shah smiled. Then he said, yes, without a doubt, and faster than anyone expects. The world was shocked. A king just said he wanted the bomb? Oil prices were high. The Arab countries had stopped selling oil to the West, and Iran was swimming in cash. So the Shah wanted to use that money, not just for palaces or cars, but for nuclear power. He told the Americans, "Help us build peaceful nuclear energy." The U.S. agreed, with rules. Too many rules. The Shah didn't like that. He wanted full control. He wanted the whole fuel cycle. And, deep down, he wanted more than peace. He wanted the option to build a bomb. So, when the Americans said no to some things, he turned to Europe. He made deals with Germany and France. He planned to build 20 reactors in 20 years. That's a lot. But he wasn't done. The Shah had a second plan, a smarter one. He sent young Iranians abroad to study, to learn, to become the nuclear future of Iran. Many went to top schools. One of them? MIT, the famous university in the U.S. In 1975, 60 students from Iran were chosen. They were smart. They were ready. The Shah paid double the normal price, $1.4 million, just for their education. These students studied hard. They were told, "Come back, help your country, make Iran strong." But history changed. In 1979, the revolution came. The Shah fell, and Iran changed forever. Some students were sad. They loved the Shah. They stayed in America. But others, they were excited. They believed in the new Islamic Republic, and they went back to Iran. Those who returned became important. They didn't just study nuclear science. They built it. They became leaders, scientists, decision makers. Do you see the power of education? One smart student can change the future. Would you have gone back or stayed in America? In the next chapter, you'll hear how these students and Iran faced a new challenge, a challenge that needed help from unexpected places: China, Pakistan, and Russia. How did Iran learn the secrets of the bomb? Let's find out in Chapter 4. Chapter 4: Students, Scientists, and a Silent Plan. The revolution was over. The Shah was gone. A new Iran was born. But Iran had a problem. A big one. Most of its nuclear experts had left. More than 4,000 scientists gone. Only 800 remained. How do you build a nuclear program with so few people? The answer was clear. Teach, train, grow. Iran needed knowledge. It needed science. And it needed it fast. But who would help? The West closed its doors. America was angry. After the hostage crisis, Iran became a bad guy to the world. So, Iran looked east. First, China, then Pakistan, and later, Russia. These countries didn't ask too many questions. They didn't care if it was for peace or war. They just helped. In 1987, 15 Iranian engineers went to China. They studied how to design reactors, how to control nuclear energy, how to think like nuclear scientists. Later, even more students went. They learned fast. They came back smarter, stronger, and ready. Then came Pakistan. This help was secret. Very secret. Iran signed a private deal. 6 Iranians would be trained in Islamabad. They learned about centrifuges, the machines that enrich uranium. Without centrifuges, there's no bomb. But Iran didn't stop there. They gave money to science centers in Pakistan, millions of dollars. In return, they got something powerful: access to the world's top nuclear mines. One of them was famous, Abdul Qadir Khan. He was the father of Pakistan's nuclear bomb, and he shared his knowledge. He sold Iran's centrifuge designs. He gave them the secrets of enrichment. He opened a door that would never close again. Do you see the pattern? Iran wasn't just buying technology. It was learning, building its own power. Because one day, Iran didn't want help. It wanted to stand alone. Soon, Iran was making its own centrifuges. New ones. Stronger ones. From IR-1 to IR-9. Each one better than the last. Each one faster. Let me ask you, is knowledge more dangerous than weapons? Can a mind be more powerful than a missile? In the next chapter, we will see how this silent plan became a loud problem for the world. Because in 2025, the bombs started falling, and one mountain, Fordow, was at the center. Chapter 5. The bombs fall on Fordow. It was dark, very dark. But the mountain of Fordow was awake. Inside, deep under the rock, machines were spinning. Centrifuges, working day and night, enriching uranium. A quiet hum filled the tunnels. Scientists checked their screens. Guards stood at the gates. Fordow was strong. Fordow was safe. Or so they thought. Far away, in a secret base, American pilots got a signal. It was time. 14 heavy bombs. Huge. Dangerous. Made to destroy deep underground targets. The bomb's name? GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator. Each one weighed over 13,000 kilograms. Their target? Fordow. The planes moved fast. They flew high. They were invisible to radar. At exactly 2:14 a.m., they released their weapons. 1, 2, 3 dots. Boom, boom, boom. The earth shook. The sky flashed. Even people miles away felt the ground move. Fordow was hit. But was it destroyed? President Trump said, yes, we destroyed it. Totally. He wrote on Truth Social, the sites we hit in Iran are gone. Everyone knows it. Only fake media says otherwise. Was he right? Iran said something different. No real damage, they claimed. Our program is safe. Who was telling the truth? No one could say. Not yet. Fordow was hidden inside a mountain, 90 meters deep, built to survive. Even satellites couldn't see inside. So people guessed. Some said, it's gone. Others said, it's still working. The mystery grew. In Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu smiled. He told the people, "We have won. Iran's nuclear threat is finished." But experts were not sure. Fordow was not just a building. It was a symbol. And it was not alone. Iran had other places, other centrifuges, other scientists. Fordow was important, but it was not everything. Still, the attack was serious. It showed that America was ready to act, and it showed that Israel had help. For years, no one touched Fordow. It was too deep, too dangerous. But now, the rules had changed. What about the uranium? Before the strike, satellites saw trucks leaving Fordow, driving fast. Was uranium inside? Maybe. Or maybe not. The real treasure was not the machines, not the walls, not even the uranium. The real treasure was knowledge. Iran's scientists, their minds, their memory. You can bomb a building, but can you bomb a brain? And there was more. Iran had a secret, a new facility, unknown to the world. Just one day before the attacks, Iran announced, "We have built a new uranium enrichment site. Location, classified." No one knew where. So the big question remained. Did the bombs stop Iran's nuclear dream? Or did they make it stronger? Some experts warned, this attack may push Iran to build the bomb, not stop it. Why? Because now Iran had proof. Proof that it was under attack. Proof that it needed protection. And for some leaders, protection means one thing: a nuclear weapon. Let me ask you, if your enemy hits you first, would you stop or fight harder? Would you build peace or build a bomb? In the next chapter, we follow the story of the missing uranium. 408 kilograms, enough to make 10 nuclear bombs. Where did it go? Let's find out. In Chapter 6. Chapter 6. Where is the uranium? After the bombs fell on Fordow, the world waited. Waited for answers. Waited for proof. But one big question filled the air. Where is the uranium? Before the American strike, satellites saw something strange. Trucks, many trucks, leaving Iranian nuclear sites. Some people said they were running away. Others said, no, they were protecting something. But no one knew for sure. Then, news came out. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, said something shocking. There were 408 kilograms of uranium enriched to 60%. It was stored inside barrels, in tunnels, underground. That amount? Enough to make 10 nuclear bombs if enriched further to 90%. Let that sink in. 10 bombs, gone. The last time anyone saw the uranium was 1 week before the war started. It was in a nuclear site near Isfahan. Not in Fordow, not in Natanz, but somewhere else. After that week, no one saw it again. So the question became, did Iran move the uranium, or did they hide it? Iran said, we moved it for safety. It's still here. But the IAEA said, "We don't know where it is now, and we're worried." Normally, uranium is easy to track. It is weighed, sealed, watched. Every gram, every barrel, every move. That's part of the global deal. To make sure no one builds secret weapons. But after the bombs, everything changed. Inspectors stopped coming. Cameras stopped working. Gates were closed. Iran said, "We're under attack. You can't expect normal rules during a war." But the world asked, is this just an excuse? Now, the uranium is missing. Some believe Iran still has it, hidden, protected. Some fear it's being prepared for something worse. Here's what you need to know. If Iran takes 42 kilograms of uranium at 60% and enriches it to 90%, it can make one nuclear warhead. They had 408 kilograms. That's almost 10 times the amount. But to turn that uranium into a bomb, Iran needs more than barrels. It needs machines, centrifuges, the kind that were in Fordow and Natanz. And guess what? Iran has more. Some are in secret places, unknown, unseen. Even the head of the IAEA, Mr. Grossi, said, "There are sites we don't know about, and Iran is not telling us." That's a problem, a big one. But the scariest part? Iran can now build the machines itself. It doesn't need help. It doesn't need imports. It has the technology. Made in Iran, designed by Iranians, with Iranian parts. They even have a new machine. IR-9. Faster, stronger, more efficient. It's not working yet. But when it starts, it could change everything. So let's go back to our question. Where is the uranium? Maybe it's still in barrels. Maybe it's already being used. Or maybe it's being turned into something deadly. We don't know. And that's the danger. Let me ask you, if someone hides something powerful, something that can destroy cities, would you wait or act? In the next chapter, we return to the beginning. Not to a scientist, not to a machine, but to a dream. Because behind every weapon, there is an idea, a reason. Chapter 7. The knowledge. Iran can't lose. You can destroy a building. You can break machines. You can bomb a mountain. But you cannot bomb a brain. You cannot destroy knowledge. That is Iran's secret weapon. Not just uranium, not just centrifuges, but people, scientists, engineers, students, men and women who studied for years, who learned how to build and rebuild. The West knows this. Israel knows it too. That's why, for years, they tried something different. They didn't only attack buildings, they attacked brains. One by one, Iranian nuclear scientists started to die. Some were shot in the street, Some were killed in their cars. Some died from hidden bombs. No one claimed responsibility. But many pointed to Israel's spy agency, Mossad. They wanted to stop the program by killing the people behind it. Did it work? Number Iran didn't stop. Because for every scientist lost, 2 more stood up. Iran had created a deep system, universities, research centers, labs, a full network of education and science. Let's go back in time. In the 1990s, Iran's leaders had a plan. They wanted to bring back smart Iranians from abroad. They offered money, jobs, housing. But more important, they offered a mission: come back, help build Iran's future. And many answered the call. They returned, they taught, they trained new students. Iran was building something stronger than a bomb. A generation of minds. Soon, Iran was not copying. It was creating. It made its own designs. It built its own centrifuges. It ran its own research. Iran no longer needed help. And that scared the world. Think about it. You can steal a machine. You can block a factory. But you can't erase ideas. Once a nation knows how to build a bomb, that knowledge is permanent. It's part of them now. Mark Landler, a journalist from the New York Times, said, "You can bomb a site, but you can't bomb a brain." He's right. That's why this war is different. After the 2025 strike, some thought Iran was finished. But others warned, they still have the knowledge. They still have the people. And that's all they need. Iran's newest centrifuge, IR-9, was designed by Iranians. 80% of the parts were made in Iran. That means no one can stop it. No one can sanction it. No one can block it. Because it's homegrown. So, what's the solution? More war? More assassinations? Or something else? Some experts believe in diplomacy, talks, agreements, science exchange. But others say Iran already knows too much. They fear it's too late. Let me ask you, can you stop an idea? Can you unlearn knowledge? Number, once a mind opens, it stays open. That's the true power of Iran's nuclear program, not in its labs, not in its weapons, but in its people. Smart, skilled, silent. In the next chapter, we go back to the battlefield, because in 2025, after years of waiting, the war finally began. America dropped its bombs, and Fordow was not the only target. Get ready for Chapter 8. Chapter 9. Closer than ever. The war ended. The bombs stopped. The skies went quiet. But the questions? They didn't stop. If anything, they grew louder. Did Iran lose its nuclear program? Or just delay it? Was the uranium destroyed? Or hidden? Did the world become safer or more dangerous? No one could say for sure. But many experts agreed on one thing. Iran is now closer than ever to building the bomb. Let's look at the facts. Fordow was hit. Natanz was damaged. But Iran said, "We have other sites. We are still working." The IR-9 centrifuges were not active before the war, but now they might be installed, ready, faster than any machine Iran had ever built. The uranium? Still missing. No inspectors, no cameras, no seals. 408 kilograms enriched to 60%. Enough to make 10 nuclear bombs. If Iran pushes the enrichment to 90%, they will have weapons-grade material. And the world? They are watching. But watching is not the same as stopping. Inside Iran, something changed after the war. Before, some leaders were careful. They said, "We don't need the bomb. We only want peaceful energy." But after the American and Israeli strikes, that view began to fade. Now, more voices in Iran say, "We must build the bomb, or we will be attacked again." The fear became fuel, and the dream became a mission. So, what's next? That's the real question. America can strike again. Israel can try to delay. But they can't erase the knowledge. They can't bomb memory. They can't kill an idea. And Iran has the idea. Many countries in the region are worried. If Iran becomes nuclear, what about Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Turkey? Will they try to build bombs too? Will this become a new arms race? And then there's Israel. Right now, it is the only country in the Middle East with nuclear weapons. Unofficially, of course, but everyone knows. If Iran joins that group, balance will change. Tensions will rise. And one mistake could mean disaster. Let me ask you, would a nuclear Iran bring peace through fear or war through anger? Is having two nuclear powers better than one or worse? This story is not just about Iran. It's about the world. Because one nuclear bomb is never just local. It's global. And when knowledge spreads, so does power and danger. Some believe diplomacy is the answer. Talk, negotiate, control. Others believe force is the only way. Bombs, threats, pressure. But history shows education is the most powerful weapon. Iran proved that. They didn't just buy machines. They trained scientists. They built universities. They created their own future. So maybe the real lesson is this. Smart people shape history. Not only with war, but with ideas. Let me leave you with one final thought. What if the next nuclear scientist is already studying, right now, in a classroom near you? Thank you for listening to this story. If it made you think, if it taught you something new, If it helped you learn English, then share it.